part of him was glad it hadn't worked. Every time the cannon went off, he wondered if the teens in the first row were going to become burnt offerings. Then, out of the corner of his eye, Mike caught a glimpse of Tommy Dolan. The lead singer appeared to be laughing. Later on in the show, the band wailed away as Dolan sang the lead to their latest hit, Army of the Night. Meanwhile, Billy worked on the Broken Dragon. "I can't figure out why this thing ain't firing," he muttered to himself as he examined the circuitry of the control panel for the fire cannon. "Everything here looks okay. Must be up in the barrel. Better cut the power." With that, he switched off the control board and began crawling underneath the cannon. On stage, Dolan sang, "Army of the Night, not afraid to fight, marching into danger without any light." As Dolan writhed across the stage, the crowd screamed. Guitarist Jackie V ripped into a searing solo. Meanwhile, Billy had worked his way to the end of the cannon's barrel. Dolan continued singing, "Army of the Night, the master's wishes soar, risking our life to fight an unholy war." At these words, as though an unseen hand moved it, the ignition switch on the cannon's control panel vibrated to the on position. Unaware of this, Billy reached inside the barrel to shine his flashlight down the dragon's mouth. Dolan continued to sing, "Army of the Night, unholy alliance, our souls submitted for your compliance." Suddenly, the loading mechanism of the fire cannon began to shake, but since Billy was at the opposite end, he didn't notice. Mike looked up from the drums, sensing a difference in the cannon's vibration. He looked over to the control panel and saw that it had switched on. Then, with horror, he saw the small red light on the loading mechanism also flicker. The cannon was about to fire. Mike tried to catch Billy's eye, but the stage manager leaned down so far into the cannon that only his legs could be seen. "Billy!" Mike shouted. "Get out of there!" Billy didn't hear him. The loading mechanism vibrated, and the light on the panel shifted from red to green. Mike knew that he would never reach Billy in time, so he hurled one of the drumsticks at the stage manager's legs. It connected, and a bewildered Billy pulled his head out from the cannon to see what was happening. Spotting the stick on the floor, he looked over to Mike, who waved frantically for him to get out of the way. But there was no time. The cannon fired. The flame that shot from the dragon's head was a wall of fire. It shot over Billy's head and out across the stage. Grant Simone, the band's bass player, turned just in time to see his amplifier catch fire. With a yelp, he dived out of the way. Billy was not so lucky. His clothes were aflame. The crowd screamed, unsure if this was part of the show or an accident. Mike leaped off his drum riser and ran toward Billy. As he passed Dolan, he snatched the lead singer's cape and charged for the burning man. Leaping through the air, Mike landed on top of Billy and knocked him to the ground. Quickly, he began to smother the fire with the cape. After several long, terrifying seconds, it was finally over. 30 minutes later, Billy was carried off in an ambulance. Another 15 minutes passed before the police had cleared the auditorium completely. On stage, the road crew began to break down the elaborate set. Mike, still stunned, stood by his drums watching one of the roadies begin to dismantle the huge fire cannon. "Hey, Mike," the roadie said, "why didn't Billy shut that thing down while he worked on it? Doesn't he know no better?" Mike looked at the roadie for a long moment. "He did shut it down. I saw him do it. The thing kicked on by itself." The roadie looked at Mike as if he were nuts, but didn't say anything. Mike left the stage and headed for Dolan's dressing room. He knocked twice on the door. "Come in," Dolan said. Mike opened the door to see Dolan standing before the mirror, still wearing his stage makeup. "Oh, it's the hero of the hour. Well, come on in, Mike. What's up?" "Dolan, I know for a fact that Billy shut the cannon down before he started working on it. I saw him do it. The thing came on by itself like some sort of—" He trailed off, not sure what to say. Dolan smiled strangely. "Some sort of what, Mike?" "Well, some sort of monster. Like it had a mind of its own." Dolan laughed gruffly. "Come on now, Mikey. A church boy like you don't buy into that sort of nonsense, does he? Sounds like black magic, don't it? You don't believe in black magic now, do you?" Mike turned away from Dolan's sneer. "I've told you before, I don't like you teasing me about my father." Dolan gave him a look of mock sympathy. "Oh, you mean the good Reverend? I wouldn't dream of it, Mike. How can you be joking around like this with Billy in the hospital?"